Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, the only series where we are slowly upgrading everything that we have. Maybe someday I'll have a better camera, but until then, let's just go ahead and take what we got. So you see, today we're going to be looking at, as you can clearly see behind me, something I've been setting up for a little bit. Yes, if you see this little thing right here, that is just straight up the ring light behind it, making sure that I look dazzling. You see, today we're going to be looking at episode 2 of Kyonyou Elf Oyako Saimin episode 2, a series that, that's a toe dip directly into the stuff that originally I said I wouldn't do, but then after a little bit, you kind of gained a little bit of an appreciation for it after being, how can I say, less of a baby and dipping out of vanilla. Vanilla's great, not every time. You see, let's just go ahead and get into this. Episode 2 of Kyonyou Elf Oyako Saimin starts off with our friends over at Bunny Walker producing the entire thing, running at a total of 16 minutes and 22 seconds with a total of 19 categories, notable of which are dark skin, mind control, and threesome, everything you need for a balanced diet of at least something's going to go wrong for someone involved. You see, the story of this rich and luscious world that we've brought ourselves to starts with, well, not really starting, but midway through because there's only 2 episodes at the moment, and this is where the beginning of the second half starts. You see, it starts off with the main character. I call him the main character because he's the only human, and he's the one that's in pretty much every single scene that involves what we're generally here for. Plot. See, the main character starts off with him and the witch, actually. You know, the witch that has been kind of escalating this whole thing and gave him the ring of stamina that essentially lets him just go and go and go, like the Energizer Bunny almost. You see, he and the witch are going at it, which leads immediately into scene number 1. Scene number 1 is starting off with 10 seconds and goes all the way to 2 minutes and 45 seconds. If you're looking at the numbers ahead of time, yeah, good luck. Go ahead. You're not going to have context. Loser. That's why you gotta watch the full video. Get me that nice, sweet movement time of everybody watching, even though you're probably just gonna skip, and that's okay. You see, as they kind of go at it, it leads into the next portion afterwards of essentially the main character and the queen, and him using his mind control to kind of get a little bit more power going across it. Him actually being next to the queen and saying, fulfill your duties, to which case he then starts going at it with her, and she says, how am I supposed to do it? And he mind controls her and just says, you can do both, to which case they start going at it while she's giving off her queenly decrees of the day dealing with the problems of the realm, leading to scene number 2. Scene number 2 goes from 3 minutes and 30 seconds to 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Nice 2-minute scene, not too bad. And then afterwards, it then leads into him going on a daily stroll throughout the kingdom, essentially going through the marketplace alongside the princess, to which case him and the princess, he essentially says, you can only know your subjects if you are better to them by showing them just as much of kindness that you've shown me. So clearly there's only one thing that could mean, walk around naked, also feel nothing as you do it. To which case he mind controls her, makes her walk around naked through the whole place as she's getting a little bit of a voyeuristic movement going. And then everybody's like, whoa, and he's like, you feel nothing for this. And he's like, and they're all like, okay, this is normal. To which case, scene number 3 kicks in as they start going at it pretty much in the middle of town, which leads from 7 minutes on the dot to 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Kind of wish this one was a little bit longer, not gonna lie. To which case, afterwards, it then leads to him going down into the dungeon as it's more properly called. Him then saying, you know what? There's only one person in this who hasn't really resisted anything that I've done, but has also been very aware of everything that's going on, unlike the others who are mind controlled. To which case, he goes down to the Dark Elf Knight in the basement, I'm gonna keep saying basement for some reason, the dungeon, and then says, hey, sex, and then it immediately leads to what you think it leads into. Scene number 4, to which case it goes all the way from, I'm gonna have to keep getting lower and lower on my knees, I swear to Christ, this was a bad idea. Or I could do something cool, like this. Scene number 4, that goes from 7 minutes and 55 seconds all the way to 9 minutes and 25. See, I'm a genius, it's called moving a little bit to the left instead of the right. I literally just thought of that right now. You see, afterwards, When that scene has concluded, it then recedes to the main character, up in the middle of the courtroom where the queen and the princess are. To which case, you know what they do? He says, both is good. And then they both, all three of them, start going at it, which is where the threesome part of this actually comes in. You see, as they start going at it, then it leads into the main character, using the witch to go down and bring in the dark-skinned dark elf, who then says, this is a little messed up. And they're like, yeah, but go along with it. Which leads into the final scene of the whole thing, scene number 5. Scene number 5 goes to 10 minutes on the dot, all the way to 14 minutes and 5 seconds. That being the conclusion of episode 2 and maybe the entire series. I may be wrong on that one. Do not quote me. I am not smart. That being said, as far as I'm concerned, that's where it's ended, because there hasn't been a second or a third episode in a very long time, and this was relatively a new series, like it came out recently. That being said, let's go ahead and get into the review for it. Now, you're probably wondering, where's the review? If everything else has been brought up, where is it on this whole thing? Well, that's why I'm keeping everybody in check, because I have the knowledge and the marker. You see, when it comes to the animation of this whole thing, the animation can pretty much be described as one thing, and that is generally solid. Like, this is better than the first episode by a good amount. Not necessarily in a bad way of like the other one was just terrible. The other one was average, which is why it was surprising when this one had more production value, which I'd like to safely say is what at least I would consider, in my opinion, an 8. This is an 8 out of 10 when it comes to animation. Now along to the story and characters. Now the story and characters honestly is not that much better. It has been no real improvement. This is pretty much just a run through of different ways that sex can be brought in or sexy scenes can be exposed, to which case there's not really much going on to it. It's not taking itself super like goofy, which it should, because, you know, fantasy world guy has a ring of infinite stamina and the will to use it, and a big tittied elf girlfriend who's also a witch. So this isn't as goofy as it wants to be, and I can safely say that it's not. That being said, the story and characters honestly goes at a 5 out of 10. That's not an S. I don't like drawing 5s because I can't do the straight line very quickly. It always comes out like a Z and then an S, like put together. Now let's get on to what we're all really here for, the plot. Now the plot is actually really good this time. Like, it's not the toe dip that I was originally going for, but it was something that was like, there's a variety in it. There's 19 categories, which not necessarily any of them are used horribly. As a matter of fact, they're all used really well, which I can safely say is damn worth it. And with a total of 5 scenes running at decent lengths each time, except for the third one, which was only 30 seconds, even though it was essentially a voyeuristic walkthrough of the girl being naked most of the time, the sex in it actually wasn't very common. So, that being said, I'm going to give the plot of this whole thing in another 8 out of 10. And leading all those together, averaging them out, which is 8 plus 8, which is 16 plus 5, that's 21. 21 divided by 3 is a 7. 7 out of 10 when it comes to the actual thing. It is damn good, it is damn decent, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I can safely say, a lot of people out there should too. So if you don't want to watch the second episode, honestly, I'd skip the first one, because the second episode's better. That being said, feel free to come to your own conclusions as you watch it for yourself and make sure that you get everything done. To all the people out there who've been suggesting all the different things that I could review, I hear you. I am very filled with lists at the moment, and I'm only one man. That being said, I am a fast reader, so maybe or maybe not. I might get to one of those things. Plus, I still need to do actual, like, reviews of what I've been doing, and not gonna lie, when I'm one of the people who's on the internet talking about how I can get railed, or how other people can get railed, I kind of want to do it in video games too, so damn, Elden Ring's looking pretty good, and I may do something about that. That being said, my future prospects are none of you guys' worries, and they're nobody's problem other than mine. That being said, I can't appreciate you guys enough for the amount of stuff that you've done. Holy shit, I'm at 215 subscribers. That is way more than I ever thought, and I barely even had time to celebrate the 215th, which I do have the maid costume now. Maid week starts on the next episode after this. And maid week is not going to last a week. There's not going to be 2 episodes and then I'm done. It is the next 7 because I make stupid decisions. So, until next time, I'm gonna end it there. So, until my next video, have a nice day. Remember, have a nice day. Don't be a dick. There's too many of them. And wash your fucking hands. I have been the doctor. Peace.